can hear you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
My mic's still hot. It's hot.
First off, let me get a shout out to whoever this YouTube beat is. You know what I'm saying?
The season finale?
Season finale.
Yeah. This one right here, though. This for the strip, John. You know what I'm saying? Pumping in your trunk. You dig? Well, it's the big Macadocious. Alright, sipping Remy on the rocks.
That's
with
my
a
favorite
cold
part,
cut.
man.
Sweater
And that shit
Bitches show me
crazy
love.
every
Finish
time,
it.
bro. It's
man.
like you gotta sit there and listen. When I hear Big Macadocious, I'm like, say what?
Live in the chateau, man.
Listen, man, what's up, y'all? How y'all
Listen,
feeling,
man. Welcome back to the Last Word podcast. We're here with some special guests for our
Yeah.
season finale, episode 10. We're going to let them introduce themselves, man.
Yes, man. Yes.
For sure.
Sir.
So, Earl Cooper, I do a lot of things, but most known as one of the best young teachers in America, PGA professional,
Sir.
founder of Eastside Golf, founder of Earl Cooper Golf, co-founder of Eastside Golf, and co-founder of HBCU Week.
Yes, sir.
Let's get a round of applause for that, man. Let's say it's a man of many talents.
So exciting. Elijah Wanajanaku, professional golfer, and also founder of Eastside Golf.
Talk heavy.
Zone 6, though.
Zone 6. Tell them
Where
what
the
name
name came from.
Oh, man.
Appreciate y'all coming on the show, man.
For sure.
Appreciate y'all, for
Thanks
sure.
for having us.
And,
Thanks for having us.
as we always do, I got my mask back on, so you know what time it is. I gotta shout out these healthcare workers that are still on the front lines. I know weather looks nice, and I know things are not as bad as people may think. The northeast portion of the United States is actually doing very well handling COVID, but 19 states have went up. They have spiked. Their COVID cases have spiked.
Yeah.
So, having a disease or, whatever you want to call it that is airborne does not leave
not
us
going away.
empty. So I just wanted to make a quick shout out to, everybody doing their thing.
Yeah, shout out to all the healthcare workers. Everybody on the front line, not just healthcare workers. Everybody out there, risking their lives every day to make sure that communities are safe and everything like that.
100%.
Even with everything going on, So we appreciate y'all. But in the midst of a pandemic and everything going on with RIP to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, the list goes on.
Yeah.
We always like to leave our listeners with like a motivational quote. And CJ, what we got for this week, man?
Listen, man, I went back to my guy Rob Hill Sr.
Okay.
I know some of you may know him. He's very, very active on social media. But the quote of the week is, "You can refine your craft more effectively when you curb your appetite for instant gratification." I'm gonna say it again because I feel like this relates a lot, just to the sport of golf and in general. You can refine your craft more effectively when you curb your appetite for instant gratification. Rob Hill Sr.
That holds weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, I
sure.
just want to give y'all some ground rules. We got 2 rules on this show. That's it. Everything else, I don't even care.
That's the last word.
We got 2 rules though. Rule number 1: if your feelings are hurt by any topic we discuss, that just means you're guilty as charged.
And if it don't apply, we just let it fly.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Y'all
with it.
cool
Simple
with
as
that?
We cool with it,
All
man.
right, listen, man. Let's get into it, man. I want to jump right into it. We have some very special guests.
Yes, sir.
I'm just happy that we get to join in as the movement is rapidly expanding. So I want to talk about the movement. I want to talk about Eastside Golf. That's why we're here. And that's why the people need to know about this. So I want to start with the founder, Mr. Elijah. Can you just tell us what is Eastside Golf to you, and also answer what is the purpose? Like what is the origin for Eastside Golf as well?
For sure. So Eastside Golf, lifestyle brand. We promote diversity, inspired culture, and remaining authentic to ourselves and just our life. You know what I'm saying? So the origin of it came from, honestly, I've been in golf since I was 6 years old. Just trying to be professional golfer, trying to be a part of the PGA, trying to be a part of this large organization called the First Tee, and just always being told no, you can't do it, no, because of all these different type of reasons. And I turned 30 years old because I've only had the logo for a year.
Big 3-0.
Yeah. I'm 31 now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Salute.
But dropped the logo when I turned 30, and that's been a year. And I mean, it's come a long way since then. And then we launched in November of last year, so it's only been 8 months, 7 months.
Wow,
Yeah,
8 months. I just want to give some context for everybody. 8 months, and this is just Instagram. I ain't even gonna say the numbers that I know about that we're gonna talk about. But Instagram, it's like 5,000 followers in 8 months. And that's no paid followers. That's just organic, engagement. So
that's what's up. Congrats.
I just want to say salute to y'all. I'm gonna change the question up a little bit.
Okay.
You feel me? Just because co-founder, right? So tell me, I guess, when you heard of this idea or where it originated from, like, were y'all on the couch drinking and it was like, damn, like, how did this come about?
Right. So, I mean, like Elijah once said, and, that's my man, like, let's go back. Like, me and him we won the national championship together at Morehouse College. So, like, this is my brother. We talk all the time, and he's just like, yo, which I'm sure you and Breeze do. Like, you're like, yo, man, like, I want more out of life. Like, I'm sure this podcast came about. Like, you just like, I want to do something. And he was like, I need an artist. So I'm like, all right. I hooked him up with my mans. They got in the lab. They cooked something up. And then it came out. And then he just, I don't know. It was like, he was just like, yo, I'm going to run with it. So he started to promote it. I'm like, yo, let's put it on a shirt. Put it on the shirt. It went up. It went crazy. And then I kind of, honestly, like, I kind of, like, fell back from it for a little bit. Like, I was just like, all right. But then he just, like, took off with it. Yeah. Like, he just, like, nah, like, because it was his brand. Like, this is him. Right. And, he's like, this represents me. Like, he got a Cuban link chain on the day. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the logo and the chain. And then, for me, I just saw it kind of, like, growing. And I'm just like, all right, there's some value that I can add to this. I love the game. And then it just really just allowed me to put my spin on it. You know what I mean? Because I think one thing I've learned, like, is, like, I think different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I see things a lot differently. And with that being said, I just kind of brought that to the table. And, it's just been taking off ever since. So, yeah, man.
That's heavy.
So, like, golf, that's rare to hear that a black man, Tiger, but that's different. He ain't really like embrace the black community.
100%.
You know what I mean? And to see that y'all taking like a lifestyle brand like the caps, like I wouldn't have guessed that was a golf hat. You feel me?
Right.
The brand and everything stand out. So like being in a majority dominated like white male industry, what challenges do you guys face, and what motivates you to like not conform and like, okay, I want to dress like them, or I want what motivates you to stay you in that industry?
Yeah, so honestly, I mean, always being in a box at the golf course, always saying I got to act a certain way while I'm there, and, I can't play my music. And, I mean, it's not, I respect the game. I'm going to still wear a collared shirt, but why can't I wear joggers, or why can't I, wear a hat like this, or just different. Yeah, it gets swaggy.
So try to make you conform 100% to their standards.
And then like all of the clothing inside the pro shops where they sell clothes at the golf course, they look the same. So it's like, I don't want to dress like that. So came out with a logo, the logo, jeans, sweatshirt, Cuban link, and it speaks. You can look however you want to, right, and be yourself and be comfortable and speak how you want to and just play golf, because golf is cool. I mean, it's not been portrayed that way, but it teaches you a lot about yourself, and we can dig into that. But it teaches you a lot about yourself, and it teaches you a lot about maturity. So but just making it to where everybody could take advantage of it. That was the whole premise.
That's what's up.
For sure.
Yeah. And I say too, like, we done a bunch of interviews, and I think one of the things that we always try to say is like, traditionally you had to leave your coolness in the parking lot when you got to a golf course. It's almost like leaving your coolness at work. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I'm gonna go work in this corporate environment. I gotta leave who I am or who I aspire to be or whatever, kind of the culture. Okay. And so I think that's where golf has messed up, because we literally have left our culture, which is hip hop, which is black culture, in the parking lot. But that's what's cool. And I feel like that's what Eastside Golf is doing. And that's when he says, like, be authentic. It's like literally just be yourself. And now we see the change, and we see how people are like gravitating to it.
Changing dynamic a little bit.
So look, I did a little homework. Okay. You know, I love to give some stats, man.
It's only right.
And I just want to get your feedback on like your response when you hear this, and I also want to get if there's a problem with it, is there anything that you are doing to change it? Okay. So the stat is, according to PGA of America, among those who played golf, like on a golf course for the first time in 2017, roughly 1/4 were non-Caucasian, while the minority makeup of golfers overall is 18%. So, I mean, just me reading that, I see some discrepancies or some overplayed, terminology in terms of like you just grouped minorities all together, and that's only 18%. So I can't even imagine what African Americans, that percentage is probably like 3.
No,
and then on top of that, it's like played on a golf course for the first time.
2017.
Roughly, we're non-Caucasian. Yeah, because you dominate the fucking sport. So why would you be first time? But that's just my initial response, and I don't know anything about the golf world. So just tell me. I'm gonna start with you, Earl. Like, what's your response to that? And then also, if there's anything you're doing, could you highlight or promote that?
Yeah. So I mean, the numbers are right, and it hurts me, honestly. So I am a certified PGA professional.
Okay.
And there's like 27,000 people that are like in the overall association. And the number of African Americans is under 200 out of the 27,000.
Damn, that's worse than UD diversity, bro.
And then when you dig a little bit deeper, to give it just some historical context, you had the Caucasian only clause. I believe it was lifted in like 1967. So
1961.
So what's
67?
Caucasian
Or
only
61?
clause?
61.
It was 61.
That
Okay.
means only they could play the sport.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, they were the only ones that could play the sport and obviously gain membership.
Okay.
So you couldn't participate in certain tournaments if you weren't, Caucasian. So it was called the Caucasian only clause. So in 1961 it was lifted.
It's not that long ago.
Not at all.
Yes.
And literally got they sport shitted on by Tiger Woods in like 20 years.
So for me, to be a part of that, I also stand on the shoulders of giants. That's something that we don't take lightly. And so one of the things that we did most recently, which I'm super proud of, was put together a video similar to what the NFL did.
I seen that.
Where we challenged the PGA of America to make a stand. And in that stand, we wanted them to say that Black Lives Matter. Again, not all lives, but Black lives. And we were able to get their attention. We had people tagging them and put the video up, and so we posted it at 10:30, and I got the call at like 7 that they're gonna put it up on all the.
Can we get a round of applause for that?
I just seen it before we started.
That's some real leverage right there.
Yeah.
Man. I just want
You
to
go to PGA, you'll see their videos, like maybe the third video, like most recent one, like that's dope,
and it's doing numbers. So like that's one of the things that we're about to leverage as well this coming week. Like it's almost up to like 30,000 views, right? So when you compare to other stuff, like they got a video of Steph Curry, I think it has like 12,000. Another couple of videos that's been up there for a minute, they got like 20, and we're already up to 30,000. So
dope, man.
yeah, it's something that we're super proud of. And then not only that, but to be honest, we're looking forward to really roll out a plan. So we've been talking to them and not just trying to get them to post something, but to literally come out with a plan that we can hold up and say, here's our action plan moving forward.
So
that
how can you hold
Because
up
a post, like how long,
community.
like right now it's gonna be relevant, but like what action are we going to do it? Just like with all the protests and everything. All right, everybody's protesting, but what are we going to do to like keep this going? What movement are we going to change? What bills are we going to pass?
Yep.
You feel me? So man, salute to y'all on that, man. That's dope, bro.
sure.
Seriously.
No, for sure. And I just gotta say, like for me, like, and I told O and everybody I've been talking to, like they kind of like put the battery in my back. Like, I was real kind of timid on it. They like, nah, you gotta do it. And doing it, and Eastside just giving me like the confidence as well, like to say like being authentic. Like I felt like I couldn't be a part of this brand if I didn't stand up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And I also appreciate everybody that like follows, posts, that shares. It's like we got a real live community, and like we're responsible to them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we don't never want to like turn our back. So we talk to a lot of major brands and have literally like told them, no, we can't do this deal. We can't do this collab because you guys haven't made a stand, So
Facts.
Yo, I don't think people realize how powerful that is.
That's powerful.
I just want to say one, because that's not an easy thing to do. I don't care you know, what type of industry you're in. As a small business owner, that's not an easy thing to do, to turn down these corporate deals off the strength of like holding them to a standard that, you know, you believe in. And I feel like, you know, your younger selves would be congratulating you. Just getting some insight of like, you know, basically like having to change or having to leave what you are at the door. Like that's kind of what you described to me in terms of going on a golf course. Like you had to leave that in the car, and to be able to now be like, I'm not leaving my identity behind. It's either you're going to work with us, or you're going to work against us. And you know, just to be able to make that stance, I just wanted to highlight that. Like I said, there's a lot of people struggling right now, especially with the economy officially being in a recession, that wouldn't be able to make that move.
And I want to just add something real quickly. Like, I think that, like, through that process, like, we have a responsibility, you know what I mean, to make that stand, because there are young men. Like, there were people that backed out of that video. You know what I'm saying? That was like, yo, I can't do that.
Can't do it because they're sacrificing their brand and they don't want to, you know.
Right, or their job or whatever, or their general manager, their boss. Like, so... And I respect it, but it was just like, that was the fuel and the motivation behind it, because I'm like, I understand what position you're in, but that's even more reason why we got to
do this. Like,
and we moved quickly. We didn't make a big hoopla out of it. There was so many other people that wanted to be a part of it. Actually, we felt bad about one gentleman that wasn't a part of it.
Yeah.
But it was about just honestly like moving swiftly, and so and using our platform, like, because we had a strong platform already. So
I put the, you know, like they got the knee on their neck. You know, put on their neck, man.
For sure.
Holding them accountable.
Facts.
I seen that. I was like, wow, like that's.
Yeah, and it was diverse too, man. So I think it showed a lot, you know, just the unity and coming together. So it's definitely something I'm happy and proud to be a part of, as you said. Like, you know what I mean, looking at my younger self, like, you know, but I know I couldn't have done it without Eastside. Like, Eastside played a major factor in that. Like I said, like, really holding myself accountable and like, yo, you got to be authentic. Like, that's the only way you're going to win.
Facts.
So, Elijah, can I get into your professional golf?
Yeah, for sure.
So listen, so I kind of want to talk about, and I know a lot of people that I know personally are going to want to know, like on the golf course, a lot of things happen. A lot of like CEOs, like there's been a study. There's actually been a podcast on it. I think it was Malcolm Gladwell. Yeah,
big fan.
I think you put me on revision history.
Yeah.
And there's a study about like how much golf CEOs play. And so naturally, like if you're there for the majority of the time, majority of your business is gonna happen there. So I want to talk to you about, you know, have you ever been a part of like business happening during like the course of a game, and you know, have you ever seen it? So like I just kind of want to get your perspective on like how that happens, and you know, I guess what to do in that situation. You know what I'm saying? When it happens.
Yeah. So I've been in the commercial finance space for about 8 years, and commercial finance, as far as like vehicles, commercial vehicles, over the road tractor trailers, dump trucks, garbage trucks, things like that. And a lot of times at the dealership, the principals of those dealerships, they play golf. The guys that own them, and the F&I managers and some of the salesmen, they play golf, all of them. But taking them out for golf lessons, or taking them out, it might just be for an hour and a half, you know, or taking them out for about 9 holes and then getting a beer afterwards. Because most of the time on a golf course, I mean, it's only about 20 minutes you talking about business. The other part of the time, you're just having fun out there. You guys are talking about golf. You're talking about life. You're getting to know them, building that relationship.
Getting that rapport.
And that's what golf is all about, building that rapport and being that person's friend, or just knowing how that person moves, or knowing how that person does business. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So just for an example, you know, just imagine, you know, you guys are playing. He hits his ball into the woods to the right. You hit your ball down the middle of the fairway. Right. You see your ball. You walk to yours. He goes to find his. He can't find it. As you're walking over there, you see him kind of like foot wedge or hit his ball with his foot, which is illegal. You know what I'm saying? Back to where inbounds or something. And onto the then he yells at you, "Oh, I found it." You know, but that's, you know what I'm saying? Now the thing is, would you do business with that guy? You know, something so small. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, damn, like if he cutting corners like this, what else he gonna cut
do
corners?
in the real world?
Right.
It's little stuff. So you really get to know that person and know how they move. So just moving throughout golf and moving throughout that golf world, it really teaches you a lot about individuals.
Person. Yeah, like your character's on display.
For sure.
Because you don't have referees out there. So you got to like check yourself. So if you want to cheat, you can cheat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of them things where it's like, but people don't understand that when they go out there, they want to feel like they trying to impress somebody or like they trying to get the best score. And it's not necessarily about that. It's about literally what are you going to do basically when nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Because it's up to you. So if you like, we playing and you tell me you got a score lower than what you really shot, like that's only a reflection on yourself. And so, and like you said, I think that's what people miss because they are trying to be competitive. And it's like, that ain't where it's at. Trying to be, you know what I mean? Because none of us are going on tour. Like, this is customer golf.
Okay.
Right.
How
Yeah.
about you? Have you ever had any like experiences like business wise?
Yeah. No, certainly. So one of the opportunities with the Comores company, I played golf with their general counsel.
Okay.
I know. I was the head of government relations, and I just built the opportunity, and then he introduced me to the CFO, and then we were able to secure like, millions of dollars for a future chemistry scholarship opportunity.
Wow.
So, it's a team effort, but it was just kind of like, those are the things that are like birth, relationships, and then you meet this person and that person. So like kind of like what he was saying was, you just get to know people. Okay. So that was one of the highlights. And then not even outside of that, like just even the individual that, the relationships that we have, like Anthony Anderson, like all of these folks, like a lot of these relationships were birthed on the golf course through meeting this person, and this person connects you with this person and that person. So it's a great connector. It's a great connector.
So golf is like a premium networking almost.
100%. Like you talk about the connect, like it's that's what golf can provide. Like it can really connect the dots. And like what it does is it creates that instant like commonality. I don't know if that's a word. But it's like that instant thing that we all have in common now. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, and it tells you a lot about an individual, how they handle themselves out there. But yeah, we've been blessed because we played at a very high level. Yeah. And I don't think that like Hollywood has like done a good job in portraying that. So like we talk about it all the time. Either you get someone that is like Tiger Woods, or you get somebody that's like Big Boy, or somebody in the Kango hat that's goofing off, like don't know what they're doing. There's nobody like in that middle of the road.
They're not showing that.
Yeah, they don't show that.
So I didn't know like all of
right,
this,
exactly. So like we, you know what I mean. We can go out there, we can play with the best of them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And at the same time, handle our business. And I don't think that like people are always like when they see you, say either you don't know what you're doing or you got to be like extremely good. So
So like before, because I want to get into basically some advice in terms of a young African American male. But before I do that, I want to highlight what Eastside Golf is doing, and I just want to highlight basically. So from what you've described, you all are kind of that middle ground where it's like you don't necessarily have to be a beginner, but you don't have to be an expert. But you still want to keep your identity when you're going to go. You don't want to leave your identity at the door just because it's a heavily dominated white male industry.
Correct.
So, I guess talk about
what that looks
like your future. Like what are the future aspirations for this company? Like, and if there's anything that you want to reveal to our followers and subscribers. Okay. I'm super anxious to hear.
So we got, we've been working really hard on our business plan. Like it's kind of taken off. And I think so over the next probably 6 months, we'll roll it out. But we really we have our staple pieces, but we basically want to do kind of like what sneaker companies have done. So we're going to release limited edition pieces once a month. Okay. So whether it's a hat, it's a shirt, it's a sweater, whatever that may be, once a month we'll release a limited number. We're worldwide. We're already in 2 boutiques in Japan. We're working with PGA tournaments as well, being vendors there. And also we're very passionate about like being able to give back as well. So that's another, major component of the company. But we also understand that we're a brand, like we're an apparel line. So people want to know, how can I help? Like you can buy clothing. You know what I mean? It's really that simple because the worst thing we can do is be broke. Like we can't help anybody if we're broke. Yeah. And so that's one of the things that, yeah, we definitely do. But super excited about it because it's such a niche, and we have just the credentials. Like literally, he's like one of the most talented person I've ever seen on the golf course. Like just pure talent. like just pure talent. And then you take somebody like
I need
myself.
some lessons, man.
Yeah, with the lessons and the teaching.
Boy, that thing probably gonna be $300 an hour.
Yeah, nah, definitely. It's a pretty penny.
The price go up.
The price go up.
God damn.
But it's value. It's value there. It's definitely value. We get you some beginner courses and some clinics to get you right. But yeah, no, we're super excited about the brand. You know what I mean? We've been talking to a lot of different brands. Like we got an opportunity tomorrow with Forbes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
can we get the bomb drop with the Forbes? God damn.
Yeah.
That ain't no regular. I can't let that go by.
Forbes. On hip hop, it's gonna be dropping an interview, which was super dope about that because it's not too many golf brands that can even talk to all hip hop.
Yeah.
And then we're definitely inspired by like Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of talk about Nipsey and like the equity and like just owning our culture. Like that's kind of like what we want to do. Like, and then when it comes to golf, like we want to own it. Like instead of just being out there, we want to have like people rocking our stuff. That's you know what I mean. That's for the people. That's for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So listen, let's get into it. I want to, cause I hate to take this away from my audience, but I'm super intrigued and interested. So as a young like African American male, I'm 25, so I guess I'm mid-20s now.
Yeah.
Guess I'm getting old. But
I'm 31, man. Let me put that out there.
You're both 31.
Yeah. They be telling me
sooner than
listen,
later,
no.
bro.
You know you old when somebody start calling you seasoned. I be getting called seasoned now. I ain't gonna say who be calling me seasoned. They know who they are, but they be like, yo, you're seasoned now.
Yikes. I hope they watch. So listen, so I want you to give advice, right? And take all your golf experience out. Okay. And I'm just saying, take it out of like the person that you're giving advice to. Mm-hmm. Like they have no golf experience, but they're somewhat interested, and let's make it super relatable to a typical young African American male. They don't have the funds to buy all the golf clubs and everything that's needed. What advice do you have for them? Like one, it's a 2-part question. One, if they're interested in golf, and two, just as proper male advancement in life,
business wise, anything y'all could provide, because that's one of our goals.
I want to start with the founder, and then I want to go to the co-founder.
Proper male advancement. I start there. I mean, honestly, finding out what you're passionate in.
Okay.
Finding out what really drives you every day you get up, like something that you just like, yo, I love this. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. For sure. Like I mean, there was a time when before Earl joined, I was getting up at 4 a.m. every day, going to bed at 11 p.m., 12 midnight. You know what I'm saying? But just working on this, because I saw the potential. I saw like what it could actually do and what it could mean to the younger generation. Yeah. To guys that are 25, 20, 15, 10 years old, when they see that and they just like, damn, like I can really like wear a chain while I'm out there. I mean, I
can be me.
Like being you, and you won't know, like just growing up in golf is it's like, nah, don't be you.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to be successful. Yeah. That's the only way to be successful. But yeah.
Not my fault. Go ahead. You good?
Nah, you got it.
Nah. I think so. Like CJ is so funny. I'm sure he probably told the story a million times. Like how we met, right?
Okay.
And so
that's a crazy story. Can I tell it right quick? Can I tell it? I'm gonna tell it in 30 seconds. I got my timer on. So look, right. So I started off as youth counselor in City of Wilmington under Parks and Rec. People was like, you got me Earl, you got me Earl, you got me Earl, you remind me Earl, you got me Earl. All right, cool. Met Earl, right? So we at the Riverfront Starbucks. Earl's like late. And Earl straight up, as soon as he got there, he's like, you know what? I would have been on time if there was money on the line. And I was like, damn nigga. This nigga's spitting. You feel me? And I respected that, bro. I respected that so much. And like ever since then, like
But you gotta add you gotta add the fact that I was basically like trying to say like it's all about creating value. Yeah. Right? Like, and I'll never forget when I realized that was a very pivotal point in my life, like when I learned this thing called CV. And like life is literally all about creating value. So
that's how I joined the group. That's how I joined the We All Dream Big group, man. Like I hate to cut you off, but that's how I joined the group. And we have a weekly call every Sunday, 7 p.m.
And we've been doing it for like years now, bro. Like
I've been a part of it. I would say a year and a half, 2 years at this point.
Longer than that. That was City. Was it? Yeah, but
Yeah,
right.
so that was 17.
Yeah,
3 years. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we do everything from book clubs to like literally talking about trials and tribulations of your week to like, bro, like I'm one of the younger people. So like a lot of advice is given on those calls, bro. So
That's powerful.
Yeah, so-
Iron sharpens iron.
yeah.
Exactly.
Man
So
sharpens man.
So CV is definitely big, like creating value, and then something that you had mentioned earlier when we were talking about consistency. Like I just think that that's the whole thing. Like I meet people that all the time. They like, yo, and I'm sure it happens to you. They're like, yo, you still play golf? Because it's like a thing where, excuse me, I feel like people thought it was like a phase, and it's like nah, like this
It's
is
a lifestyle. Like
For sure.
yeah, I live this. I love this. So that's definitely, something that I would offer up, you know what I mean, for somebody to be successful in life and anything you want to do. You know what I mean? Create value and be consistent. If you do those two things, yo, you can write your ticket.
For sure.
And I think that's important for the younger generation because everything on social media is portraying like a highlight reel, and people think that overnight success is like going to happen with anything, and with anything it takes work and consistency, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
So
100%.
I think even with me, I have multiple ventures going on.
Get some advice. Even though you're mid-20s, still get some advice.
Yeah,
I would say I would go back to what you said resonates, like how someone said they can wear a gold chain and still be on a golf course. I'm a real estate agent in Delaware, and I have other ventures as well. I'm like a fitness ambassador for multiple companies and stuff like that. Shit. So I just want to, like I'm still myself. Like, I'm into fashion and everything like that. I like to dress well, but I'm still going to be me. I have tattoos and everything like that. Like that's what I like to do. I'm a former basketball Division I player. I'm going to be me regardless. But still, I can enter into these industries and still be myself and hold that professionalism. So I think that's important for art. The black and brown boys. To understand that we can. You can still be you, keep your culture, but still be professional at the same time. So.
Round of applause for this nigga Breeze, man. This nigga is spitting tonight. I'm gonna give some more like pessimistic advice.
Okay.
I'm gonna ruin the mood.
All right, let's get it. It's the last word, baby.
At the end of the day, I look at life as it's like a person, and life is constantly saying, "I don't care. Work harder." I have realized that like you're gonna get what you get. You don't have no say so. You have some control over like determining some of the things that happen in your life, but you don't control like the basic hands you're dealt. And it's either you're gonna step up or you're gonna like, make an excuse, not live up to it. Basically either you're gonna do it or you're not. I hate to be black and white, but that's what it is, man. And if I'm talking to myself when I'm 22, 21, it's like I don't care. Work harder. Like do you like if you gonna take my position, I'm gonna give you hell for it. Like that's the way I look at it now, bro. Like my schedule now. Like I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I ain't making no excuse.
That's
but
real. Yeah, it's just one thing.
Whoa.
Oh shit. Well, listen, man. It's time. It's time. Talk to us, Breeze. It's time, brother.
That's my favorite segment. So like we like to do something called This or That.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And with everything going on, Black Lives Matter and everything. And this has been a conversation going on forever. I don't even know when it started, but after slavery, reparations. A lot of, different, communities have got their, their just due, after wrong things have been done to them. But the black community has never really got their just due after, slavery's abolished and everything like that. We never really got land or money or anything like that. So I want to ask you all, if we were given the opportunity to get reparations, would you rather take a lump sum of money or would you rather take land?
Oh, cause like how they gave out land for the military.
How they gave out,
day. Okay.
What would you rather take, a lump sum or land?
I'm gonna go with land. Yeah, I'm gonna go with land.
Okay,
so I get the money piece because you can buy money with land, but you can, as we saw during COVID, you can print more money. But you can't print more land, and so you can't create more land. So I'm gonna go with land.
What's your answer? Same.
Maybe was gonna go with land.
Okay. What about you, Breeze?
I'm going with land as well. Real estate Breeze. We out here. I'm going with the land. I like
real estate Breeze.
I want to have some agriculture going on and some, some commercial, real estate going on.
I can't even with my urban planning background, I can't even play the other side. I have learned, especially in, the mid-Atlantic area, we don't have any more land. People are now starting to do sustainable planning because they literally have no other fucking choice.
Right.
I hate to be blunt like that, but look at Main Street in Newark. You can't build nowhere but up.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's
So,
facts, yeah.
you know, I can't even sit here and pick money, even though I want to just be the different person, but just to give a different perspective. But I can't because like it's a real thing. I'm really anxious to see how just United States plays out, you know, in future generations. I feel like there's going to be a huge migration to the Midwest, to the central area of the United States. That's just
call.
me. Just because
Wow.
sea level rise is really a thing. Delaware's going to be first up. If anybody didn't know, as much as I'm vouching for Delaware is first up.
As far as what?
As far as sea level rise. So like,
Okay.
I hate to get off topic, but like
go ahead.
sea level rise, like we are the lowest lying state. So basically, that just means we're the most susceptible to flooding. So like, you know how you see in like Indonesia or like, you know, like we would be
Tsunamis.
first.
Right.
Delaware would be fucked.
Well, we're the first state.
And there's like this whole thing where like as far as beach replenishment or sand, Delaware pays a pretty good penny to like basically they have helicopters to my understanding. I could be wrong, but they have helicopters that drop sand on the beaches. It's not like the sand isn't always there because of like migration and all of that. So there's a pretty significant investment because our tourism industry is so high.
Wow.
That they dropped that.
Makes
So
sense.
I truly believe like as sea levels continue to rise, because they're not going to stop. There's going to be a migration to the Midwest just because we don't like you can't live on water.
That's deep. Like I hope
Damn.
that everyone that's hearing that like goes to the Midwest and start buying land.
yeah.
Facts.
You know, but that's a great point though.
Wow.
That's you drop one of the
Appreciate
coolest
you, bro.
bombs
Because I didn't know. That's why. That's why I asked the question. I'm like, hold on. You gotta go a little deeper on that one.
Man. So, you know,
CJ dropping these jewels. Okay, brother. My
Appreciate you,
man.
fam. Yes,
I
sir.
gotta have something. So listen, man, you know what we about
you know
to
what's
do.
next.
Let's do it. Let's do it. That's why I'm here.
When that bomb drop, you
It's
know,
his turn, baby.
this when I put him up on that hot seat. This is controversial conversations. You know, I love to let us see. So I just had to come. You know, I had to come with the name. Like
Start with the
yourself.
founder first on this question.
What you got for us?
Yo, listen. So I'm gonna start with the founder. I'm gonna start with Mr. O. You feel me? I ain't gonna say the whole name just to protect you from
Zone
anything.
6. Zone 6.
Just Atlanta
He's
stands.
the Atlanta Santa. So I just want to give you a quick stat before I ask you this question.
Goodness.
So cohabitation in the United States has increased more than 1,500% in the past 50 years. And this stat is from the Defining Decade, How to Make the Most of Your 20s. I love this book. I quote it all the fucking time.
Great book. Go get it. Meg
yes.
J.
Yes, Dr. Meg J is the truth. I'm somehow going to find a way to get remotely. It's like
Drop
Like
that again. The
counseling.
title on that one. What's that one?
Defining Decade,
Finding Decade.
How to Make the Most of Your 20s
Okay.
by Dr. Meg J. It's
Please
on
go get that
Amazon.
book.
Putting that on the
You get
list.
it like Amazon Prime for like $12. I
Okay.
think it's really cheap. But so cohabitation, for those who don't know, that's basically where two people, not unlywed. I forgot how they say it, but you're not married and you're two people and you live together.
Live in the crib. Okay.
So this number has jumped up significantly. It makes a lot of sense just given today's society. So I want to get one.
Are y'all cohabitating?
Have you ever done it? Have you ever done? I ain't gonna say if you're doing it presently.
Nah.
Have you ever?
You can ask
Well,
me.
ladies, he said it here
Nah.
first. Have you ever done it? And two, what is this a good or a bad thing? It's just your opinion.
No, I'm not cohabitating. Goodness. And then bad thing or good thing.
Hold on. I need a second for this one.
Yo, I listen. Just give us the
Nah,
transparency.
I have to go with it's your reasoning. You know, like let's say if somebody is using it as like a business deal, like they have a job and they know that they're about to go to school, but they know that their salary might be decreasing, and the woman that they're with has a good salary. She could pay it if need be, but his salary is definitely about to drop, and him actually cohabitating with her, if that's something
beneficial.
that they agree upon, it might be beneficial. So it all depends on the reasoning. I would say,
I'm gonna go with Breeze. Go with my co-host.
I've never cohabitated as of yet.
So hold on. I gotta put you on the hot
Clarify
seat.
Here we go.
Okay, you said as of yet. So does that mean you're willing to do it? For the ladies that's watching.
For my fiance,
you
before I'm married, if it comes before marriage, like I think I'm a firm believer. Like I would want to live with my fiance before we actually get married.
Okay.
During the engagement period, because it's different. We date and we seeing each other on the weekend. You staying the night on the weekend at the crib, and I'm staying at your house or whatever the situation is. But waking up to someone every day,
yo, don't let me forget. Write it down or something. Don't let me forget. We got to bring that topic up when we have our next female guest. I want to talk about I want to talk about living with your person before you marry.
Yeah, I think it's necessary, and I'm a spiritual person, not too religious, and in the religion I believe in, it's not really. It's frowned upon a little bit, but it is.
Listen,
I'm not marrying you until I know what it is. I wake up with you.
Put your hands up like you defending something. This is the last word.
No. I'm just saying that's how I look at
the last
things.
word.
Yeah. So,
what them 2 rules are.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If it don't apply, let it fly.
Yes, sir. If it don't apply, let it
feel
fly.
me?
So I'm not against cohabitation, because I feel like before we can make it official, like you my life partner, I need to know what it's like to live with you.
Listen, for me, I'm 100%. I'm with this. I like you said, I need to see that this is a thing that we can do.
Yeah.
That's just me. And second, have I done it yet? Nope. But I'm pretty sure
It's happening.
if I'm a better man, it's gonna happen in the next 2 years. Why? Because I'm CJ and I'm getting to that point in my life.
I'm CJ.
I'm getting to that point in my life where I want to see this. I want to see it happen. I want to see if I can do it. And like we said before,
more recycling.
behind the scenes, like I am at the point in my life where like, yeah, you look good, but like, what do you bring to the table? Like I'm really getting turned on now by seeing a girl in her element. Like if you are in system engineers and like you explaining to me what that is, or like you're in healthcare and you're like, I get to see you in the field, like what? Damn,
Now that's dope.
I
feel
I
that.
see you tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is your shift.
Listen, y'all heard it here.
I love that.
You heard it.
So before
about your business.
I can't let my mentor get out of this question.
No.
So have you ever cohabitated, and do you see it as a good or a bad thing?
Yeah, I've done it several times. Well, not several times, but I've done it a couple times, I guess. And I think that it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely, I believe in like, a case by case scenario. You know what I'm saying? Because that situation, whatever situation you have between you and that person, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I've always operated. But just based on my like experience and everything, I would say that you just gotta understand what you're signing yourself up for. Like, in doing that, I think a lot of things get intertwined, like and mingled up. Like he said, like just going off O's analogy, right? You got a girl. Let's say your girl's going to get her doctorates, right? So now she's not making the kind of money that she was making before. You could be bringing in whatever money you were bringing in, but you got to step up a little bit. But at the same time, she's now relying on you more and more. So with her relying on you more and more, that then changes the dynamic. And y'all got to make sure that y'all communicating throughout that process. Yeah. Because what happens is you can basically like think that it all depends how your mindset is. Because you could be thinking like, all right, I'm doing all this. And then when she gets that doctorate, she's going to go back and revert to the old when y'all was splitting 50-50. Or she might be like, nah, like, I just want you to keep doing what you was doing, and I'm going to just keep over here stacking. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different scenarios, and it's kind of like a case by case. So it's not a bad thing, and I wouldn't say it's a good thing either. It's kind of like case by case. Yeah. But I would say, like, if you're going to do that, it is very important that you, like, explain the dynamics as you're going through it, because it changes. You know what I mean? Dynamic shifts constantly happen, and you're like, all right, well, okay, I'm in this, because again, that's where it goes south, because you'll literally like you'll be splitting everything, and then you'll get to the certain point where like you gotta make sure that you're communicating your expectations. You know?
I like that. Communication is definitely important. You know, it's
Listen.
you know, in any situation.
Where
Yeah,
we
and
at?
honest communication too.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I mean,
Very
honesty
honest.
hurts sometimes, but I think that's
It's important though.
Yes,
you know.
for
If
sure.
you don't do it, you'll regret it.
And like an OG told me, like I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. Y'all not being honest yet. You won't know how to be honest until you like 30. I'm gonna be 100 with you.
I can
So
attest.
tell me
that. Like, you're
why. Tell me why
Why?
that is.
Because
I'm
I
just
think-
curious.
I mean, I don't necessarily have the answer. I lived kind of quote unquote through it, right?
Yeah.
But I think because you don't really know yourself.
Yeah.
So like you're trying to like describe yourself to somebody, but you're still like this person is still developing, and then that's why in your head you're kind of like, I don't really want to say this because I'm still evolving. You know what I mean? So it's not fair for you like to describe yourself right now at 25 when you know that you're gonna be changing in 2 years from now.
Can I put you on a hot seat?
Yeah.
So like I think that's a very good explanation.
Yeah.
I just want to put you on a hot seat because I just heard it, right? So basically, you don't know yourself. Like, this is a benchmark, rough benchmark. You don't know yourself until like you're 30, basically, because like you gotta go through life or whatever.
Right.
So, is it not smart to marry at an age 25 or younger?
I wouldn't use the word not smart, like, but see, because like one
Case
thing
by
about like
case.
relationships, I'm definitely
Case by
like
case.
big on case by case.
All right. I can
But
rock with that. I can rock
but I
with that.
think that like you gotta like everybody's gotta understand that like you're marrying an individual that's gonna evolve,
Yeah.
like, and that's real, like, and it's hard to accept that. You know what I mean? Because at 25, you might want to turn up, like you might want to pop bottles, you might want to be in the section,
It's-
you might
what's
want to do
today,
all of
Saturday?
that. But then at 30, you might say, "Yo, I want to go take a picnic. Like, I want to just chill."
Yeah.
Or you could be like, "Nah, I want to do whatever."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you can't get caught up in that moment because that's a lot of times when you young. Like we fall in love with the turn up. So that girl you meet, you like, yo, she's
Having
dope.
fun, like
You rocking this.
Not cuff nobody from the club. Learn from me.
he said the club. Hey, you never know, bro. You might meet your soulmate in the club, bro.
Yeah.
You might feel like
Learn
it.
from me.
No, but I'm saying, listen, just like he said, just
feel.
go off of what he said, bro. Like the person, we 25, bro. She might be different when she's 27.
Right. But see, here's the problem.
Ran through.
Right.
She, yo,
That is not what I for clarification.
that's not what he was
I
saying.
don't care. I don't care.
That's why I stay in CJ's ear.
Listen,
Yo.
somebody got to, because you know I be talking crazy. But listen, we at like 45 minutes.
All right.
Listen, I don't care. We're gonna run this episode up because there's another topic that I really want to talk about, and I really want to get y'all advice
All
because
right, let's get it.
y'all are older, y'all are wiser, y'all have been through more, right? So I want to talk about emotional investment. I want to talk about as a black man,
That can go a lot of ways, bro.
because there's a lot of
Wow.
there's a lot of stereotypes, and you know, for me, I'm just based off my experience. I can't speak for everybody. I have dealt with it on a relational side, and I've dealt with just a relational side. I don't like at this point. I don't like being vulnerable because I feel like then the excuse is, you know, when you're mad, and I'm speaking, you know, we're going to talk about this again when we have more women on the show.
Deep.
But I want to talk about like how for some reason, like you say something, and if like say your significant other is mad, that gets used against you if they're mad. And I'm just curious to know, like, at what time or what standards have to be met before you feel comfortable opening up 100% to your significant other.
I want to hear everybody's perspective on this one.
Yeah, me too.
Let's start with the CEO.
You know,
start
I
with
come
the
with that
founder,
shit. This is
CEO.
controversial conversations.
Part 2.
I mean, I see it written. When do you feel comfortable opening up 100% with your partner? I mean, it's at a time where both of you.
Yeah, man.
You sound like you thinking about something.
Yeah,
Cool,
he
no.
knows. He
Yes.
knows some people gonna watch this. That's what that is. Like, am I gonna share this interview?
Nah, I mean, it's at a time where both of you guys are mature, you know, and they're emotionally investment, bro. Like, I'll say this. Reciprocation of energy is really important. All the energy that you put out,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying, that needs to be given back to you. Period. I mean, if it's not, then I mean, what are you doing? You need to start looking at yourself. What are you settling? You know, whether you're a man or a woman. You know, like, I mean, it's at a point where, you know, you can say anything or just things to that person that you're not really thinking about, and instead of them trying to use that back against you, like they're trying to understand where you're coming from. You know, they're just like,
That's
damn,
deep.
like that makes sense. Or why did you say that? What made you come to that conclusion? Like, who said that in your families? Like, find it, like, do discovery questions. Figure out what that person is like. Like, you know, like it comes from somewhere, so you can truly understand that person, and then that person feels as though they might not even need to say that anymore, or then you understand that road, it actually showed you a red flag for that person. This might not be what you want, you know. So
Don't ignore them red flags.
yeah,
Man.
don't ignore
Don't
the red
ignore 'em.
flags.
Listen,
for
yeah.
sure,
Nah,
for sure. So
Yeah, I agree. I think you know, I think like he said, it needs to be reciprocated. I think it's at a point where you feel like one, it's a process, so it's kind of like trust is earned over time, and you want to make sure that, you know, your vulnerability isn't being like quote unquote weaponized, right? Like nobody wants to feel like that's a weapon that someone's going to use against you. And then I think it gets to that point where in being vulnerable, kind of like he said, like, how do you provide support in those vulnerable states? You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily trying to like really come from a place of like, well, how could you? And come from a place of like, all right, I don't like that, but let's figure out a way how we can, you know,
Compromise.
work with that to get you to a place where I'm comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So clearly if somebody's uncomfortable with something, it's more about, and nobody wants to, honestly too, like, I think it comes to a level of commitment, right? Like nobody wants to be vulnerable and then they feel like somebody quote unquote abandons them. You know what I'm saying? So if you're being vulnerable, you want somebody that's kind of in it for the long haul, that's going to, you know, support you. But I think that's really what it comes down to. I think when you, as a man, when you feel like you got support 1,000%, like somebody's in your corner, like, and you got it without a shadow of a doubt, that right there will allow you to begin to be so vulnerable. That's what I'll say. Like that's how you
take on the
know
world.
it's real. Like
yeah, and it takes time. It takes time. Like you got to go through real life scenarios to be able to, and you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know. I think sometimes you may not want to listen to it, but you know, like, and again, it may not be the baddest chick. Be 100 with you. The baddest chick may not be that one that provides that, like, yo, like, you really, really rocking with me. Now, I'm not telling you to settle either. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm also saying that, like, loyalty, support goes a long way. But I think support, because we always hear about loyalty. But I don't think we hear enough about support in the black community and in our just relationships. And it needs to be reciprocated. It's not about a woman just supporting the man, but the man needs to also support the woman.
That's big.
I like that. I'm gonna let you talk before I give my insight.
Yeah, man. I think I agree with all of y'all, man. And it's just like being vulnerable is something that I struggle with. You know,
We all do.
I never, you know, and like I
sure.
think when you're with someone, you know, everybody comes from two different worlds, and two different worlds merging into one is bound to clash. You know, you can deal with somebody who's had like they had a 2-parent household versus me. I had just my mom, raising me. You know, you feel me? And she had to show me tough love. And you feel me? I didn't see how a man was supposed to show affection to a woman. You feel me? I had, you know, I've seen movies and stuff like that, you know, and I'm you know, I always like that lover boy type thing, but I've never really had the opportunity to see it in person and know, and I struggle with showing that. You feel me? So that's one thing that I'm working on, you know, like how to, like, you know, give affection and be vulnerable in that situation, like call somebody babe and stuff like that. I'm used to having that hard shell and everything. Like, go ahead.
I just want to say something, but
Yeah.
I think it's like, I like that analogy, right? I'm big on analogies,
Yeah.
but like you said, two different worlds. But I think the mindset has to be like, how do we explore those worlds with an open mind, right? So it's like if you're from Africa and the United States, right?
Yeah.
From Africa, how do these individuals go into each other's world, but open mind, not like saying like, yo, my culture here in Africa, this is how we do, this is how we wear.
Right.
If you can't wear this, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Instead of saying like, oh no, okay, y'all got hip hop over here, but then also understanding the food is different. So I like the analogy of the different worlds, but I think it's our mindset.
You have to be open minded. Yeah. No, I agree with you because I dealt with that in previous situations. You know, she came from a different background where wearing a certain type of, you know, she came from an island background where they show more things. You feel me? And I'm not used to that. I'm like, yo, you better put some clothes on. What you doing? You better put some clothes on. You feel me? But me being, if I was more open minded, maybe I would have been like, okay, that's her culture. You feel me?
For sure.
And where can we meet in the middle?
Right,
You know,
and it may not work for you, as what O said.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's more about being open minded and accepting the fact, like, you know what, I explored this culture. I respect this culture, but that's not what I want.
Right,
and
right,
that's
right.
okay. That's fine.
That's fine.
Don't feel like, you know what I mean, you did somebody dirty or you did them wrong. It's like, no, like that's just not
Not your
gonna work for
preference.
me.
Okay.
But you're not judging the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, it's not gonna work.
Okay. Nah, man. Yeah, y'all give
And
me the
and
gems,
gotta,
man.
I gotta say this, just
Yeah.
to go a little off topic. I mean, as far as you growing up, just single parent household, just your mom. Same for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But golf is something that took me to, you know, having other mentors,
Right.
and people that I can look to and model myself after, like entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers. All these guys are playing golf and doing business deals. I'm 13 years old watching all
Yeah,
of this.
that's facts.
You know, and then single parent household, but I'm seeing this on a regular basis.
Yes.
You know, I'm going back playing basketball with my boys.
Yeah.
And, you know, everything normal, but I get to see how to carry yourself as a gentleman, how to carry yourself as a man, and being mature every single day on the golf course.
It's invaluable, bro.
Exactly. So that's just how. I mean. That's reason why we made Eastside Golf, was to give young brothers tools. I mean,
Yes,
golf is
exactly.
a tool that you can use to better yourself,
Right,
to become. I mean, it teaches you perseverance. I mean,
Right.
morality, all these type things to just be a better person.
And I'm gonna say it right now, like
wanna
I
play
think
golf.
you know our responsibility is to make sure that you guys do play golf, right?
Right.
Like we got to take this show on the road. Like we got to take you guys going out there. Like one of the challenges that I had personally is that I'm not doing my friends service if I don't teach them golf. Like that's on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To teach everybody golf that I know. So it's, you know, kind of like to his point, because that's the only way it's gonna go. Like I can't keep talking about it. I gotta actually be action.
Well, y'all got another one. I'm ready to play. I went to Top Golf one time. My swing was on suspect mode, bro. I said, oh.
All right, but we not gonna let CJ get out of this, because
Yeah,
I need to
don't
hear
let
this
him-
emotional.
Let's go. Let's go. Take us home, bro.
Listen, man. For me, like I said, I have not had the best experiences when I am vulnerable. So it's hard for me. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I was just talking to my mother, because I'm big. You know, I think a part of everybody. Like you do certain things because you're trying to figure out yourself. So like I did psychology. Like yeah, I love learning people, but at the same time I wanted to learn myself.
Right.
And we just had a conversation. I was just like, you know what? Like I feel like I have strong abandonment, like trust issues. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like betrayal or like it bothers. Like yo, it ain't no coming back. If you leave me hanging, fuck you, straight up.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, I know where that comes from. I was like, where? She was like, you know, like no shade to my father, but it was like it would be times he would promise that he going to slide or something, and I'd be waiting in the window. You know, he ain't there. And it's like, you know, it's just funny because you go back to psychology. It's like you forget certain things, like when that's your hero or like that's somebody you care about. Like
100%.
you kind of just forget certain bad stuff. So.
Attest to that.
Shout out to both of them, man. Like at the end of the day, like right or wrong, like y'all made me who I am. So, you know, don't take no offense to it. It's just like for me, that's just a hurdle I gotta get over.
But I want to just right there. It's important. Like that's the truth that I be talking about. Where like it's tough for him to say that, right? He's not weaponizing that, but he's just saying that this is my reality. You know what I'm saying? And as you get older, you'll feel more comfortable with that.
For sure.
And you won't feel like, yo, you're downing your pops or bigging up your mother. It's like, yo,
It's a party.
this is my reality. I'm not saying, and you'll understand how to say it in like a tone where it won't be kind of quote unquote combative, and you'll feel comfortable with it. You know what I mean? You won't feel like you saying that statement, which is true, takes away your love for your father. You know what I'm saying? And that's also gonna be in other things. So that's why I say like it just takes a time for you to be comfortable with like your own truths. Yeah. Because we're always constantly like in our head, like comparing it to our fantasies. So then I think you get to a certain point where you're like, all right, this is my reality. I am comfortable with my reality, and I am comfortable with sharing my reality, good, bad, or indifferent. it may hurt some people,
Yeah.
but I had hurtful experience. So it's very important for me to share those experience.
That's you know what's crazy? Just to and we gonna finish up after this. Like that just hit me a little different. Like, bro, I almost got emotional because me and CJ both fathers, and I'm a summer like I call myself a summertime dad, but like I'm a full-time dad. But I have my son every day in the summer. You know, co-parenting situation, and my son is super smart. He's 5 years old, and he asked, he's like, "Where's Pop-Up? Like, where's your dad?"
Right.
And my dad's been in jail since I was a little kid. He's still in jail. You feel me? And it's just like I have to have those. Like at first I was just like, "Oh, he's not here right now." But the other day he asked again, and I was like, Pop-Up's in jail. He's in jail. I had to just be transparent with my son. He's like, "Why is he in jail? He did something bad." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "You gonna tell me about it when I get older?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell you about it when I get older." But just having that. And I told my son, like face to face, I said, "That's why I want to be the best father I can for you."
Right.
He said, "Well, you're the best dad in the world." You feel me? That almost made me cry, bro.
No, for sure.
It's because
1000%.
just being transparent, bro. Like I used to go upstairs when my sister's dad used to come get her when we lived in Philly. I used to run upstairs and cry, bro.
Right.
Like, and
I get it. I get it. Now that's real,
bro.
but
It's
it's
just
just
You
crazy.
gotta cry,
It's
because I'm about to cry with you, fool.
Yeah,
Like,
You feel me? And it's
you
just,
know, you
Nah, that's
already
real.
know.
Like,
We
but I
both
understand.
been through it. Like, I hate to go off topic, man. Fuck it. The episode gonna keep going until I say fucking cut it. But like, I'm here, man. Like, like at this time last year, what's today? June. What's today? June what?
13?
Man,
I
last
believe it's
year,
13th.
last year June 13th, I saw my son for one time. You know what I'm saying? Outside when he was 4 days old. So like, I feel this shit. You feel me? Like, end of the day, like, can't nobody tell me nothing when it comes to that father and shit. Like,
Yeah.
nigga, I done spent, and I was wait for the documentary, but fuck it. I done spent so much money. I could have bought a brand new car off the lot.
Right.
Like in one lump sum. Like how much money I've had to spend legally on fighting in family court. So like, I feel you, bro. Like, and it just for me, like, it's making me cry because it's like, damn, bro. Like, for him to tell you that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
That's real.
that just shows
the
you,
best
like,
feeling
at
in
the
the
end of the
world,
day,
bro.
bro,
Like,
like, a father is a son's or daughter first hero. I don't
Sure.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you
Telling
say.
you, bro,
You
it's
know what I'm
different. I
saying?
get to wake up and make my
So,
son
like,
pancakes in the morning.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I used to wish for that. You feel
Right,
me? Luckily, I
100%.
had, playing basketball, father figures. Like,
Right.
some of my coaches, like, took that role on, and they knew, But the fact I get to wake my son up, and I'm a big fitness head, and he wakes up like, "Dad, we gotta do our pull-ups today."
Yeah,
you feel
that's
me?
awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's man, I just can't explain the feeling.
Nah,
I get.
but that's what
I
I'm
can't
saying. Like, the
explain it,
more
bro.
and more you do it, the more and more you'll have the ability to articulate that to a woman.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're constantly evolving, so your emotions are gonna change about that. Like, some days you'll be in your bag, like, yo, I didn't have that. Some
Yeah.
days you'll be like, yo, I didn't have that, but I also had this. And so again, like, I think as you're evolving, whether, to your point earlier, if you want to get married young, I'm all for it. But also understand, like, yo, I'm still unpacking my emotions
For sure.
and my
Person you marry in your
experience.
20s is gonna be different than the
You know what
person
I'm
you
saying?
marry.
Exactly. But let's go on this journey together.
Yes.
Or as you get older, you know what I'm saying, you become more blunt. You know what I mean? You become like, yo, this is who I am. And sometimes it's difficult, but it's like, nah, this is my
who I am.
experiences made me, they shaped me. But I shout out to you guys, because I think that narrative of black fathers not fighting to be in their sons' lives or in their children's life, girls as well, you know what I mean, is you don't get this other side. So I salute both of you guys for doing that.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because I understand that, again, you're doing that. That's all I'll say. I understand that you guys have great situations, and you are fighting, and now it's a great situation. So I commend you guys.
Appreciate you.
sure.
Yeah,
So, man,
sure.
I
I learned a lot from you on this
shit.
episode, man.
Thank y'all, man.
listen,
Thank
bro, I
y'all for
appreciate
coming
y'all.
on the
I gotta do
show.
some quick marketing.
Yeah.
Eastside Golf.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the merch.
Listen,
Yeah,
we gonna
Let
make
us know where to follow y'all.
Yeah, so- So Eastside Golf on Instagram. The website is eastsidegolfclub.com. eastsidegolfclub.com. So join it.
Find us on Facebook, Eastside Golf, and Twitter is Eastside Golf 6.
Zone
Okay,
6.
Zone 6.
East Atlanta.
We'll be two sides.
For sure. And go ahead and give them your personal.
Yeah, personal is my bad. Personal is Olajuwon like Akeem, but with 4 O's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me follow y'all now.
Yeah.
Well,
We're gonna,
make sure I
we're
follow
gonna have y'all
personal,
social
too.
medias on this
On the
episode too,
joint. Oh,
so
okay.
people will be able to see it.
That's
On
a
top
bet.
of y'all.
Okay.
You know,
Cool,
you feel
cool.
me?
You
So,
know, mine is Earl Dream Big. You know, that's my slogan I've been saying since 2010. I've been on the bus at
Never
Morehouse
stop
talking
dreaming,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, but dream big because dreams do come true.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's kind of been my thing, and I really
Manifest.
believe that. Like you gotta, you know, I think that's the biggest. I think for me, one of the saddest things in the world is to go into an elementary school and see kids not dreaming, because it's like, yo, you got your whole life in front of you, and again, experiences often kind of in their environment, but I feel like that's where our job comes in.
Yeah.
To tell them like, nah, man, you gotta, you know, dream big because dreams do come true, and so we try to live that every day.
Hey, can't speak that enough, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
How can
Appreciate
they
y'all.
find you for the new people that just joined the show?
I'm Real Estate Breeze on Instagram. Sabri Thompson on Facebook. I'm not big on Twitter. I don't remember my name on Twitter. I haven't been on there in a while. But I'm big on Instagram and Facebook, so you can follow me on there. So yeah. Last Word Podcast.
Undisclosed on all social media. Undisclosed. If you find me, then I know you wanted me. So
Oh Lord,
figure it out.
If you want my mans, you better do your search.
Figure it out. But thank y'all for tuning in. I want to say thank y'all for coming on the show, for being so transparent, and for getting us to give a little tearjerker at the end.
Yeah.
So tune in to the Last Word Podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
Great episode.
subscribe, comment. You know, your
Nice, man.
feedback.
Dope,
Let
man.
us know what you want
Appreciate
to
y'all,
see.
man. Appreciate y'all
Yeah,
hustling.
thank you for having
I
me.
appreciate y'all doing this during COVID. Like this is what it's all about, man. So
Yeah,
salute
bro.
y'all. Don't
Keep
stop.
grinding.
Stay consistent. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
key.
Keep grinding.
Stay
Let's get
authentic.
it. Eastside Golf. Shout out
Yep.
to y'all.
For sure.
We out, baby.
For sure.
Y'all.